In other news today, Parliament's ad hoc committee tasked with recommending a person for appointment for the position of Public Protector has now finished all of its candidate interviews. The last 4 candidates were interviewed last week, including the acting Public Protector, Kholeka. Athi Mtongana has more.
The last 4 candidates that were interviewed last week included the acting Public Protector, Advocate Kholeka, Gcaleka. But before I go into the type of questions that she faced, I want to remind you that the first 4 that were interviewed includes the former human rights CEO, and that being Advocate Tibanyane. He was questioned about some of the reports that have been compiled by the Human Rights Commission and the work that he has done there. And he was very confident, very energetic, saying that his track record and his experience in the legal fraternity and in the research side of things, as well as academia, all of that speaks to why he feels that he should be the next Public Protector of South Africa. The second candidate that was interviewed is also someone that has a wealth of experience in the legal fraternity, and that being Mr. Ntewa. He was questioned about his role within the African National Congress, the ANC. He was very much involved back during the struggle days, and he was saying that it is actually then that he learned that there can be a separation of professional life and in terms of which career path that each person who formed part of the liberation movement wants to take. He says he learned from the early stages of the liberation movement that there might be people that will be needed to not necessarily affiliate themselves with the party and not become politicians, especially those who want to practice in different professions like law. And then last week we heard the last 4 candidates that were interviewed, and as I said, that also included the acting Public Protector, Advocate Kholeka, Gcaleka, and some other candidates who also have a wealth of experience in the legal fraternity. You also had magistrates that were interviewed, and all of them were practically being asked about what they would bring to the office of the Public Protector, what they understand about legalities, what they understand about the Constitution, what they understand about the Chapter 9 institution, and what their role would be if they would be chosen and recommended to be the next Public Protector of South Africa. And certainly Advocate Gcaleka faced tough questions because she is in that office as we speak as the acting Public Protector. They asked her about the report around the foreign currency that was stolen at President Cyril Ramaphosa's farm, where her report cleared the president. She was asked about the contradictions between her report and the South African Reserve Bank's report, and she defended the report that was compiled by PPSA and the time that it took to actually compile that report. Part of her defense to the length that it took to get to the final report was the resources element at the Office of the Public Protector, which we know that has been an issue for quite some time, and the funding thereof. And interestingly, around funding, she was also asked about why the Office of the Public Protector cut off some of the funding that was due to be given to the suspended Public Protector, that being Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane. And she defended that by saying that she was trying to protect the resources, the limited resources that are available in the Office of the Public Protector. She was also asked about her link to the African National Congress, and she says that she's not a member of any political party for over a decade now, because she has been linked to the ANC, the Youth League in particular, and we know that she was also a legal advisor to the then Minister of Home Affairs, Malusi Gigaba. But the DA even went as further as to question her as to why she affiliated herself with someone that was implicated in the Zondo Commission by bringing in the Gupta family and the influence that they had on the state and the corruption that unfolded thereof. And she was saying that her role was not to actually advise the then Minister of Home Affairs about who to engage with, but hers was to be the legal advisor. But all of that came, of course, as a result of MPs in the EFF and the DA, like I said, questioning her affiliation to the African National Congress. So the next step now is for the ad hoc committee to meet tomorrow from 11, where they will discuss the interviews, and each MP, of course, will then be able to put forward which of the candidates that they prefer to be nominated. Ultimately, the majority will then decide, and that name out of the majority will be taken to the National Assembly. Their deadline is the 31st of August, where the report has to be tabled and a recommendation of who needs to take over after Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane.